Welcome back to Good Morning Quad Cities at 11. It's time to introduce you to our pet of the week. Patty McCray with the Quad City Animal Welfare Center is joining us this morning. First of all, Patty, as always, thank you for joining us.
Of course.
Tell us a little bit about Kevin.
Well, he is wonderful. So he's 2 years old. He's a neutered male. He's had all his vaccines, and he's just a great cat. He was just strolling around the cat room today at our shelter, and I thought, oh, I want to bring him because he's so sweet. Such a good boy.
So Kevin's 2 years old. He's kind of out of that initial kitten phase that we see so often when you bring in kittens. So what can we expect behavior-wise from Kevin compared to maybe a little kitten that you've brought weeks ago?
Yeah. So he's still going to be inquisitive. He's going to want to check everything out. He's going to get his little nose into everything possible, of course, because that's just what a cat does. But he's not going to probably be one that's going to be breaking stuff or, chewing on things. But you want to still make sure you get him the scratching posts and spend time with him, play with him, get the little cat dancers, maybe do the little laser pointer. Spend time with him and entertain him and enrich his life. And make sure that he gets that time with you. That really is what I think is important. Cats like to play. They like to be interactive with people.
And so since Kevin's an adult cat, does that make it harder, easier to introduce him to other animals in homes?
Yeah, it really kind of depends. He seems pretty easygoing. I think he'd get along fine with other animals, but we always say to take it slow. You want to start them out in a room by themselves with all of their little supplies, their bed and food and litter, and then gradually open it up so that they get to meet the other animals, but it could take a while. You just need patience, and normally, a younger cat will adapt fairly well.
Mm-hmm. And he's still young enough that he could adapt very well.
I think so. Mm-hmm.
So, New Year's Eve is coming up, and many people light fireworks. So what can you kind of expect from your pets while the fireworks are going off? And then also, how do you make it safe for them?
Well, definitely want to make sure everybody's inside, of course. It could be challenging because it is a scary time for them, just like the 4th of July can be scary. Maybe you want to put on some soft music, maybe get them a new toy, spend time with them. Just make sure that you're keeping a good eye on them. And if they're struggling or having a hard time with it, just sit with them and maybe even just do a toy, or there's some really great enrichment toys you can get and puzzles. Those are things that maybe would take their mind off of the noise outside.
And then speaking of New Year's, you guys are encouraging folks to make an end-of-year donation to the Quad City Animal Welfare Center. So why is this so helpful and important to you guys?
Well, new year, lots more animals, and we know it. We still are seeing so many kittens and puppies right now. And if you're able to make a donation to help us in the new year, that would be greatly appreciated. But we're always looking for volunteers as well. Or if you're able to foster an animal and maybe keep them for a few weeks until we have room for them at the shelter. And even just share our Facebook posts if you're able to do that. That is very helpful.
All right, well, if you would like to adopt Kevin, visit the Quad City Animal Welfare Center's Adoption Center. They're open Mondays and then Wednesdays through Saturdays, noon to 5. You could also visit their Facebook page or website. Good Morning Quad Cities will be right back.